This week, we're talking all about how real estate commissions work in Ontario, Canada. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me. It is an absolute pleasure to have you tuning in, whether you are watching or you are listening. I want you to know that you are incredibly, incredibly appreciated. So, I want to talk about a topic that, as a real estate agent, I just assume everybody knows how commission works in this industry, but it turns out that a lot of people don't. So I want to shed some light to make sure that you're getting the right information and have a full understanding of what exactly is happening. But before I go ahead and dive into this topic, I want to direct your attention to the description below. There you'll find a link that you can book a call with me at a time that is important to you, or a time that works for you and is important to you, I guess. But you can book it that way using that link in the description. Let's dive into it. How do commissions work? I'm going to talk specifically about Ontario, Canada. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. So the way that it works in my city, it works in 99% of Ontario. There might be 1% out there that's some fringe city that I don't know how it works. But if you're in Ontario, this is likely going to pertain to you. But as always, make sure that you consult an industry professional in your area to make sure that you're getting the right information. Okay, let's dive into it. Real estate commissions, how do they work? So there's really two ways that they work. One is based on percentage, one is based on flat fee. 99% of real estate in Ontario is sold on a percentage basis. So I'm going to break this down as simple as possible. You want to sell your house, you call an agent. You meet with the agent at that time that you sign the paperwork to put your house up for sale. The agent's going to, you guys are basically going to decide on the commission that you're going to pay. Now, to touch on that, there's no standard commission in Ontario. It's not allowed, okay? So if it's a red flag to me if your agent is telling you, no, this is a standard fee, like there's no such thing as a standard fee. Any brokerage can charge whatever they want. Any agent can charge whatever they want. But that isn't to say that some agents might work for a company that says, hey, listen, if you don't get the listing for this percentage, you can't take the listing. So that may exist out there, but I haven't really seen it. So the commission, you shouldn't be set on, like a set commission. It can fluctuate based on the agent, based on the house, based on the services, that sort of thing. But let's dive more into that percentage to make it as simple as possible. So you call an agent, say that they're going to charge you 5% to list your house. Okay, great. You sign the paperwork. You don't have to pay that commission until the property sells. And then it's taken off the final sale price of the house, not what you listed the house for. And as well, that is the total commission, that 5% at that time, meaning that your listing agent is going to take generally 50% of it and keep it to pay for the services, the marketing, and all that. The other 50% is paid out to a buyer's agent who's bringing the buyer. So you can kind of consider it like a finder's fee would be a good way to put it. And that's how that works. So another thing you got to watch out for with that, while I'm talking about the percentages, is a lot of times you see things advertised like list 1% commission, 1%, like that sort of thing. You got to be careful with that because a lot of times that's just something to get you to call them. And you may say, oh, okay, great, 1% commission. But then they show up and out of nowhere, you're paying like an additional 3% on that 1% because, oh, well, because of this. So just make sure at the time that you're signing the listing, you know exactly what you're paying for. But that's how listing percentages work as well. That's why oftentimes you'll hear the phrase, it's free to work with an agent to purchase a property, because me as an agent, if I'm helping you buy a house, you're not paying me directly. When we find a house, I'm getting paid by the sellers because they've already agreed with their agent that they're going to pay a percentage out to me for bringing the buyer. So that's how I get paid as a listing agent. So you don't pay it out of your pocket. So we touch seller side, buyer side. I hope that's enough information for you. As well, I mentioned something about flat fees. So I'm going to just touch on that as well. With flat fees, generally, that's agreed upon at the time of signing the listing. Like, say we're going to charge X amount. This is what we're charging. It doesn't change what your house sells for, which can be a route to go, but just make sure you know what services you're getting, because I find in a lot of cases that those flat fee services, you're not really getting a lot with it. And as well, a lot of them collect the commissions up front. So essentially, if I'm an agent and I list your house and say, okay, this is what your fee is going to be and you pay me, what motivation do I have to sell your house? Like, my job's already done, I've been paid type of thing. So that's another thing to watch out for as well. Well, so I want to circle back to how there's no standard fee for a commission in real estate. So it generally does vary the percentage basis across Ontario. The most common that I see is 4 to 6%. It's going to depend on your area, where you're living, the services, that type of thing. So it definitely is flexible. Keep that in mind. One other thing to keep in mind is oftentimes you get what you pay for. So if you are paying a lower commission, there is a reason you're paying that lower commission. One of the main reasons would be is that the agent that you've listed with is not giving you that many services. So their expenses are little to nothing when they list your house. It's a common misconception by a lot of homeowners that, no matter who you hire, you're going to get the same service from an agent. And that is just going to be further from the truth. Like when I see what myself and my team do and our services compared to what we see other companies do, there is a massive, massive, massive difference. A lot of times, when it comes to us, we dive deep into our pockets to provide top level services for our clients because the market is competitive for listings. And we want to make sure that we are giving you the most amount of services that we can that's going to produce the best and highest result for your house. So keep in mind, if you are paying a lower commission, it's probably because you're getting stripped of a lot of services, which ultimately could affect the sale price of your house. For instance, staging. Everybody says that staging adds value to your property. If your agent isn't staging your property, you're paying less commission. Okay, that's great. But if your house is selling for less, at some point, it may have made more sense to just pay a little bit more commission to get more services, to get you a higher price and actually put more money in your pocket. So think of it that way. As well, I want to touch on a subject that I don't know if it gets talked about too much. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it could be taboo, but when we go back to talking about the flat fee services, so the flat fee services generally are cheaper than the percentage base, but the reason is they're offering out less commission to an agent that's bringing the buyer to your property. So one thing I want to make clear is it is illegal in Ontario for an agent to not show your property because it's paying them less commission. However, in this industry, unfortunately, there are people out there that do look at that and will try to steer their buyers away from purchasing property based on that. So you also want to know the agent you're working with, make sure you can trust them, sit down, have the conversation, how they're getting paid, what happens if, are you on the hook if they go with that lower fee, they end up buying a house and they don't get the full 2%, they get something less. Are you on the hook for it? You want to have these conversations with your agent to make sure that you don't sign a document saying if your agent only gets paid X amount by the brokerage when they bring you to that property, that you're on the hook to pay the rest of their commission, like up to 2.5%. So be careful of that. That's a huge, huge thing that I just want to put out there because unfortunately it does happen in this industry. If you're working with a good, reliable, honest agent, then it's not going to be an issue for you. So just be careful who you're working with. Feel like I got that out of the way. And then one thing I want to end up with, my notes on commission. Everybody always asks me, what is it? So our team works a little bit differently. Myself, I work differently, is I have a tiered package because I believe that every listing is different, every person is different, and everybody needs different services. So I have a 3 commission package, like a low, middle, higher end, and they all provide different services that best suit the needs of your property. So if you're interested in more of that, you can use the link in the description below to book a call with me, and I'm happy to go over it with you. But other than that, thank you so much again for tuning in this week. Greatly appreciated. I have so much fun making these videos, and I can't wait to make another one for you next week and keep delivering value to your lives. As well, be sure to like this video so it gets in front of more people that could benefit from content like this. Anyways, have a great week, and I'll talk to you again next week.